Minister of Works Nico Grant says maintenance will be a major element going forward as the Nassau Road Improvement Project continues. Even though construction is expected to be completed by next July, steps have been taken to ensure that the work that has been done is maintained. Here's Janaea Noel Ferguson.
It's been a day now since the Ministry of Works opened up the roadways for motorists to ease the flow of traffic during this busy holiday season. Work is expected to resume in the new year, but the number one question is, how will these newly paved roads be maintained? Minister of Works and Transport, Nico Grant.
There's no question about that. We're spending funds to secure such a program that will deal with the road management of the New Providence Road as well as the roads in the Family Islands.
Grant said that while some newly paved roads did require some repaving, this was necessary to ensure that all of the proper infrastructure for the Water and Sewage Corporation and BTC and BEC were put in place.
During the reconstruction of the work we did, there was a need for the installation of water mains, and there's a need for the installation of laterals. And so the new road work will not be affected. That work is going to take place in other parts of New Providence. We have not just been paving roads, we've been reconstructing roads. We've been putting in sidewalks, we've been putting in streetlights, and we've also been doing landscaping. And so when we target July as a completion date, that's a completion date for the project in its entirety.
And since that hotline was established to repair potholes, Grant said that they have had fewer complaints and workers are continuing to address this vexing problem.
We have been working with the patching of the potholes. We have issued contracts to some 6 to 8 independent contractors, which provide employment for them and at the same time enable us to better serve the public.
Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS News.
Well, it's almost that time again. Many of the bleachers have been erected, costume builders are busy in the shacks, and the trash talking has begun. That could only mean one thing. Junkanoo is just around the corner. The Boxing Day Parade is just 6 days away now. Joining us tonight with the plan's chairman of the JCNP, Mr. Silbert Ferguson. Hello, Mr. Ferguson.
Good evening.
Now, I know that a key meeting is set for tonight with some of those people who will make the final call come Boxing Day. Tell me what's being put in place tonight.
Well, tonight our parade's management team is working diligently to verify all of the scorecards for the upcoming parade. They will be packed in various packages for the judges judging the different disciplines, and that meeting is going on now in a very private session, and then eventually they will then randomly select judges for the different zonings on Bay Street and Shirley Street.
Now, I know that the tickets have been available online for at least a couple of weeks now. Of course, the walk-up sales at least a week. How have those sales been going? I know that New Year's has traditionally been a slower period when it comes to sales.
Yeah, right now, the Boxing Day sales, the parade is about 65% sold out. We have 5 more days to try to make sure that we sell that parade completely out. Our New Year's Day parade is a little dismal right now, but we still have about 2 weeks to go before that parade. We're about 20–25%. And so, we're asking our valued customers out there, to go out there, get your seats. The Rawson Square still for Boxing Day. We still have about 200 seats there. In the Scotiabank area, that's been sold out. The Charlotte Street area, there are about 200 seats there. And the Charlotte Street area, tickets are $15. Persons can purchase their tickets for that area.
I want to talk now a little bit about profitability. Of course, Junkanoo is our biggest cultural form, but of course, money is important to the JCNP at the end of the day. How have you been with profitability? You've been around for 6 years now. Have you made a profit, and have you gotten progressively closer to that, if not?
We have been profitable earlier. What has happened, our Rawson Square tickets, the JCNP rely on its ticket sales. 3 years ago, in consultation with the government and our financial decline, the government decided to just reduce the Rawson Square seats from $75 to $45 for our customers. It's been that way ever since. In that vein, we have lost about $180,000. But if we are able to sell our parades out, we will be able to more than break even in the upcoming parades. That has been the Achilles heel for the JCNP, main source of income being the ticket sales.
And quickly, just before we go, the tweaking of rules as it relates to the weather, wind, of course, being a factor when it comes to the danger it can pose to Junkanoo toting those heavy costumes. What change have you made in that regard?
Well, actually, there's been no change made. There's just been a review, and the review to the rules at winds being sustained at 15 to 20 knots. That is the rule. And anything that is over 20 knots, then we would have to look seriously at canceling the parade. Our first weather meeting this year is on Saturday at midday, when all of the groups will come together. They will get the first 72-hour look at how the parade weather looks for Monday morning.
All right, well, we hope everything goes well. Thanks again,
Thank
Silbert
you.
Ferguson, chairman of the JCNP. In other news tonight, condolences are pouring in this week for the Dumont family at the passing of Reginald Dumont, the husband of former Governor General Dame Ivy Dumont. Reginald Dumont passed away on Saturday evening at the age of 88. Originally from Guyana, he worked as a police officer for more than 2 decades before moving to the private sector. Mr. Dumont also worked for government in price control and at the Treasury.